So I think for consulting, people usually think that we mainly create slides. We don't focus as much on delivery or implementation. People call us like slide churners, slide monkeys. Hi, my name is Joyce Tan. I'm a data scientist with QuantumBlack, AI by McKinsey, and this is 6 Questions With. So I used to work in an investment firm, mainly using data science to create investment algorithms. I was actually just browsing for news articles on investments, and I came across this article about how this guy from Hong Kong in the 90s manually collected data on horses to then create his own model to invest in horse racing. And he was actually able to successfully do it and scale it over quite a few years. So that just got me thinking, actually, data science has so much users and so much potential outside of the field that I was working in, and I really wanted to be where new things were happening for data. Without needing to decide at that point which industry I wanted to go in, consulting seemed a very natural choice. So a lot of companies have data and they might not necessarily know what's the best way to deploy this. And we want to come alongside companies to help them use data in a much more efficient, in a way that can actually impact business decisions. Because we deal with so many clients, we also identify a lot of common pain points across all of them. So hence we're able to then build internal assets that we know can actually help all of these clients. So one example is actually Kedro. So I think Kedro is very widely used in the data science community now. It actually started in QuantumBlack many years ago when we noticed that companies were all struggling to integrate code from the data scientists, the data engineers, from machine learning engineers. So because we noticed this problem across so many companies, we decided that actually this Kedro pipeline is what's needed to actually streamline a lot of projects to help delivery a lot faster as well. I think there was this one instance where I was working with a client data scientist. He was pretty new to the firm, so pretty shy also. We had the opportunity to present this project we were working on to the client CEO. He was pretty, I would say, worried at first because he's never really spoken to so many senior stakeholders in the room before. So actually, a few days before the meeting, I actually coached him quite a bit, and then we had a few mini rehearsals as well. I still remember the day of the meeting itself. I think his palms were sweating. He was really nervous. And I think after the whole meeting, when he eventually delivered his presentation, he was really thankful and really grateful because we were doing some of the mini rehearsals pretty late. So I think to see him being able to take on that responsibility, being willing to also listen to my advice, was actually one of my most memorable experiences. Sometimes in consulting, or in tech as well, we deal so much with data, we deal so much with models. We sometimes forget human connections are also equally important. So I think for consulting, people usually think that we mainly create slides. We don't focus as much on delivery or implementation. People call us like slide churners, slide monkeys. But I would say that is really not true anymore. I mean, you can't really do tech consulting just by talking about tech. You really have to show them how it's done. I think if not for the need of delivery and implementation, I would say QuantumBlack would be a lot smaller. The other misconception about being, I would say, a data scientist or being in tech in general is that we're a bit more of a support function. You know, some people imagine us to be like staring at a computer, coding away without much human interaction. When I joined McKinsey, I was a little bit worried because after all, McKinsey is still more known for strategy rather than its technology arm. I think McKinsey has realized that to deliver tech models, you actually need to interface with the users of the model. The business side, the stakeholders, I would say all the tech folks, the data scientists, data engineers are all seen as client-facing. We take full ownership of the delivery of the entire tech model. I'm very relieved that my fear at the start didn't come to fruition. You both grow as a technologist, but also as a consultant. If you do want to hone your soft skills alongside your tech skills, McKinsey Digital is really the best place for you. It's not for everyone. Some people might want to focus more on the tech delivery rather than all the communication, stakeholder management. McKinsey Digital is where you'll really be forced to grow in both. Every project we do, it's a problem that the client hasn't been able to solve. So because of that, you can be rest assured that it's not going to be a simple solution. It needs to be a solution that can satisfy your senior stakeholders, that can satisfy your working level clients. I think through the process, you also do learn and grow a lot. I mean, if you're like me in the sense that you perhaps get more bored more easily when you work on the same thing over and over again, I would say McKinsey Digital is a very good place. You will never be bored. So a passion of mine has always been teaching, actually, especially teaching high schoolers, teaching primary school kids. For me, I do enjoy that you can impart a lot of knowledge. You can inspire a lot of their interest from the age as well. Something that we have noticed as we're recruiting for data scientists is that not a lot of females come through our doors for applicants. And I mean, there's only so much we can do in terms of diversity if it doesn't start from the schools. I have always had this idea of actually teaching coding to girls way younger, not just in university, but inspiring that interest in coding from the primary school side, from the secondary school side. Being able to inspire or teach the next generation or coders or data scientists is something that I can see myself doing. And that's all I have for you today. I'm Joyce, and thank you very much for watching.